Hello everyone, I'm Farmer Sim and welcome back to Court Farms Country Park, and this is episode 8 of my Let's Play series. So I hope you're all doing well, having a good day. But yeah, check this out. I know I've said it several times before, but I just can't get over just the wonderful vistas that this map can produce. Look at that. It's just gone 8 o'clock in the morning, the sun's rising, and it's just got that lovely mist over the map in the distance there. It's just gorgeous, isn't it? It's the kind of thing that someone in real life, someone would just park themselves here on a stool with an easel and just paint it all day, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite something. It really is. Anyway, enough of that. Apologies. So, we're here to farm, of course. So, if I bring up the menu quickly, have a quick check at the cows there. As you'll see, nice and healthy, 100%. Still got tons of food. I haven't topped them up since the last time I did. They've now got 3,559 litres of milk that they've produced. Still got plenty of straw, and they're producing a reasonable amount of slurry. So all that's good. And I have mucked them out for the first time. There was a couple of thousand litres in here. I can't remember exactly what the total was. But I have, as I said I was going to do, I have hitched up the manure fork to the Ford, and I have dumped it in here essentially into a bit of a pile. So unfortunately I don't have any way of recording exactly how much is here, which is something I didn't do, which is but I think there was just under 3 whole manure forks worth, but essentially all I'm going to do for now is I'm just going to let this build up and build up and build up. With me only having 10 cows, the numbers are never going to be huge, especially in the short term, so I'm just going to let this build up till it becomes a pretty decent pile of poop, as it were, and then figure out what to do with it from there. Maybe pick myself up a manure spreader trailer, perhaps, but can't afford to do that yet. So, what have we got going on today? So I have decided, as I said, to do something of a winter episode. I fast-forwarded time into December, made sure the animals were fed, the sheep are all good. If we just pop round and have a look, I have just topped them up with a few litres of water, but they didn't need a great deal. They're absolutely fine. Is that trigger? It doesn't pop up. There we go. So yeah, 100% health. Offspring in 3 months. They've still got almost a full trough of food, and they've got a full trough of water, because I have literally just topped them up a matter of minutes ago. But this is where I wanted to say a big thank you to a handful of you wonderful viewers, particularly Mike Spear 2587 and to Grumpy Grey Farmer 4050. Do love that name, it's brilliant. Who have told me that you can feed them hay. Now, I didn't realise this. Obviously, just looking at when you go into the menu and it says feed them grass, I just assumed wrongfully that you have to feed them grass. Now, I've played this game, FS22 in particular, since the day it came out, and I played FS19 since almost the first day that came out. And I had no idea that you can feed sheep hay, unless it specifically said it in the menu. I've always just gone by what it specifically said. So, whether that's just my stupidity, I don't know, but I'm very grateful to you all for telling me that. And obviously I've got a stack of hay bales in the shed there, and I used one of them just to top the feed trough up, so yeah, that's brilliant. So technically it made what I did in the last episode, the purchase of the forage trailer, a bit null and void, but I'm still going to keep hold of it. I'm going to use up the grass that's in there, and keep hold of it, and just, you never know, I'll keep it around the farm, you never know when it might come in handy. But yeah, we've got these hay bales that initially were intended for the use with the Total Mix Ration mixer, which it still will be, they still will be, but now I've got a second use for hay, which is obviously for feeding the sheep. So what I'm going to do, if I jump into the map, where are we, into the field map, there we are. Now, if I highlight the farmland, this is obviously all the area we own. Now, I did notice these two areas of land, which are both just, at the minute, grass fields. If I go back to the map overview, they're both grass, and they're both ready to harvest. Now, I'm not looking to purchase both of them, but I did think about this one. Now, this is a relatively affordable £26,088, and I could buy that right this second. But what I thought I'd do initially is I suppose, do things in the right order. I'm going to take on these 2 contracts, get them completed. We have a total of, I think it's, again, let me just have a look. Yeah, about just over £5,500 we'll earn from both of those contracts together. So once I've got those completed, I will have more than enough to purchase that bit of land. Let's just have a quick pop around and have a look, and I'll show you. It's one that I have to access through this property here. So we'd hang a left here. Which side does it open at? Is it that one? Oh, that way. Oh, that makes things awkward, doesn't it? Yeah, I'd have to work my way around here with the machinery into the field here. But it's this bit here that I had my eye on. And it's a decent size, so I figured if I purchased this plot of land, this bit of grass, I can mow it, I can ted it and turn it all to hay, bale it all up, and increase the stack of bales for both the sheep and the cows. And then the big grass field over there on the other side of the grain mill there, that will be entirely for silage. So that's the plan. I do have a plan. So yeah, let's get these gates closed. But yeah, that's just, I hadn't actually opened this gate up to now. I'm just really, that has made things a little bit awkward. Obviously, this field's only really going to be suitable for the smaller of the 2 tractors, particularly the Massey and the Ford. Although I will need to put the Fendt in here with the baler, won't I? So maybe if I can very cleverly get my auto drive network into here with the gate open, squeeze through this gap and into here, it might work. Always up for a challenge, so... But yeah, getting it round here, into here, and round there without bumping into things might be a bit difficult. But we shall see. Firstly and foremostly, I want to get these 2 contracts done, get a few more quid in the bank, purchase that bit of land. Although, actually thinking about it, maybe just to make life a tiny bit easier, instead of going for this bit of land here, there was this bit of land here, which does look... I think it's a tiny bit smaller. If we, again, just pop into the menus here. Farmland, if I highlight that, it's 1.44 acres. If I highlight that, it's 0.92. It's a couple of quid cheaper. I don't know. I suppose it might be worthwhile going for this one instead, mightn't it? It'll make it easier for auto drive without having to navigate through those wooden gates. It's only a tiny bit smaller, so it's neither here nor there. But yeah, it's much easier to access for all of the tractors and the big Fendt with the big baler. So yeah, I'll ponder that one and figure it out while I am getting these 2 jobs sorted. Now I am going to do my usual. I'm going to run these 2 contracts using Courseplay and Auto Drive. I'm going to set the 2 fields into the Auto Drive network with the Ford, which I will need to dig out of here, first and foremost. There we go. Ah, you see there, look. No manure for you to eat this time, is there? Aha! Mucked you out. Right, so let's jump in here. In fact, let's try and tip what's left in here. There we go, that's better. Right. Let's reverse out of here. Try not to run over my cows. Get that gate popped. There we go. Right, we'll get the front loader taken off this. I shall very quickly send this around the map and join the 2 fields that we're doing as contracts into the auto drive network. There we go, that's better. And I shall pick you back up when we're back in the yard here, ready to send off the... We're going to send the Massey off with the cultivator, and we're going to send the Fendt? Yes, the Fendt with the plough. So, I shall see you all in a matter of minutes. Right, there we go. Both fields connected up to the auto drive network now, so I can now send the Massey and the Fendt on their own off to get the jobs done. So, First things first, which one? I'll have to get the Massey sorted because that's blocking the fence access to the plough. And the cultivator's in here as well, isn't it? So, spin this one round. Get it hooked up to the cultivator. Now this one will make it to its field with no problem because there's no gate access to this one. It's just a gap. But the Fent has to get itself through a gate from a narrow lane, so that one might be a bit tricky because I have, as I did in one of the previous episodes, I altered the XML in the game files to open the gates to 100 degrees instead of having them at, I think it was about 130 degrees, so that the cow gate didn't open into the fence. So we shall see how that one fares. I'll follow that one on its way when it gets there. So this one is going to field 140. So let's send you on your way there. Off you go. Good stuff. And let's get the fence connected to the plough. And get that sent on its way as well. Yeah, it's got enough fuel. That'll do. And we will have to keep the weight on the front for this job. There we go. I reckon that should do it. Yep. There we go, right. So we do need to fold it, don't we? Have I done that right? Yes, I have. Now, it doesn't make it round here very well on the auto drive network because the plough will bump into the wall, and that should do us there, so that you want to go to field 62. There we go. Send you on your way. And as I say, I'll follow this one along its journey, and I'll pick the camera back up as we're approaching the field just to see how my auto drive network creation has gone for the field access. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. Did put the oh, I had a feeling it was going to bump the back end of that plough on the gate there, but it made it. Surprisingly, I think it's because of the direction it took. If it was coming from the other way, I think as the tractor and plough swings into the field, the plough would have bumped into the gate and caused a bit of a problem, but still, that worked, I guess. Right, so I'm going to, in my usual fashion, I am going to put this job and the Massey in the other field. Let's just jump over there quickly. There we go. This is the field the Massey has to work with. It looks like it is a harvested field of cotton. Yes, so we're going to be cultivating this one today. So I'm going to pop them both into a kind of conjoined montage, get them both running together, kind of join them both up essentially. But either way, I'm going to present them in the form of a montage, and I shall pick you all back up in a wee while when both the jobs are done. So, as usual, I'll see you shortly. Right, there we go. Both jobs successfully completed. They've both done quite a good job, if I'm honest. It's taken about... took this one about 45 minutes, and the little Massey took about 20, because it was a much smaller field, and it was working a bit faster as well. So, all in all, time well spent. We have earned... we haven't collected it yet, but we've got about £5.5 on the way, so I think I'm going to jump in this thing. We're going to send it back to the farm, as we are with the Massey. In fact, I'm going to send it via the auto drive, as I always do, and just see, let me just have a look here, how it fares with getting out of the field. So, home farm, no, home farm, thank you. Right, let's just stand back and see if this works, shall we? Again, I'm not too optimistic, but we shall see. Come on. If it chooses to go left, I think it might be alright, but if it goes right, I think it's going to bump into the fence and get a bit stuck. Ooh, ooh. Goodness me, I stand corrected. Success. Right, let's get that gate closed, and then we can jump over to the Massey, do the same thing. Although, as I said before, this hasn't got a gate into the field, so I don't need to worry too much about that. Right, let's bring that up again. Home farm. Off you go. Right, as I say, I shall pick the camera back up in a few moments when both tractors are home. Right, we're arriving back at the farm now. This is actually me driving, not auto drive, just so you know. Right, here we are. So let's get this thing parked up and out of the way. The little Massey is still on its way back. That had a good few more minutes ahead of itself. Journey time. Right. Excellent. A good hour and a bit's worth of time spent there. As I say, £5.5, that'll do. So let's jump into the job menu. There we go. So collect and collect. Boom. £32,395. Excellent. So even if we don't get a great deal of work done in the month of December, on our farm at least we've earned a few quid. So, and as I said before, I think I'm going to purchase the slightly smaller grassland area that's just outside the farm here. So again, jumping into the farmland menu. Where are we? Right, it's this one here, isn't it? So farmland. So we had the choice of that one at 22,320 and that one at 26,088, and that one has the awkward entrance with the two wooden gates. But I think for the purposes of that, and because I do use a lot of course play in auto drive, I'm going to go for this one. Just a little bit of extra land, so we've got some extra grass to feed for the sheep. I am aware that I can mow the sheep pasture, but I'm not going to, just because I'd rather keep that as it is and increase the land owned by the farm bit by bit, so I can technically invest a bit of the money that I've earned now into the farm, put a bit more land into it. So £22,320. Buy. Yes. Done. Right. We now have another bit of grass. And as I said before, that's, in my mind anyway, that's going to be responsible for keeping the sheep fed. So that's going to be mowed. I'm going to ted it and I'm going to bale it into hay, stack it with the rest of the hay bales there, and that's going to keep the sheep fed, which I think is quite excellent. Let's just have a quick peek. Just jump through the hedge, can't we? So yeah, here we are. Another little bit of grass. It's not particularly big, I get that, but it should be more than enough to keep the sheep fed based on how much they have, 3,000 litres a time. That should be more than enough. For now, anyway. So, I guess that gives us something to do in the immediate future, doesn't it? We can... In fact, what we'll do, we'll jump back in this. There we go. We shall fold that out. pop it back in the shed. Hello, that wasn't particularly good driving on my part, was it? Didn't think about that one. Let's need to spin it in a bit better. There we go. Right, excellent. There we go. That'll do. Drop it down. Disconnect. Excellent. Right. Let's get this out of here. So I think I'm going to need the mower on the front of this, aren't I? And because it is quite a small field, and because it is very close to home, as it were, I am going to... Now, what should I do? No, I'll run reverse drive with this mower, actually, and get it done that way. Where's the mower, actually? Oh, it's around the corner, isn't it? That's right. So, we'll go and pick the mower up. There we go. I do need to reverse in here. I know the pillars on this particular shed don't actually have any collisions on them, which is gratefully appreciated, but I'm still going to at least try and do it properly. So, hook that up, PTO, cables, jump in, fold up. There we go. Right, let's get out of here. And we shall jump in... Nope. Wrong way. Don't know the way around my own farm, do I? I need to... In fact, we'll just take this little shortcut here. Hopefully we won't clash with the little Massey, which is... Oh, there it is. Speak of the devil. Right. So, we'll jump in here. So yeah, it is quite small, I get that, but it's another little bit of land. It's something we can still harvest and make a little bit of profit from. Although in this case, make a little bit of food from. So, in here, is it that one? This one. There we go. Spin it round. Brilliant. Lower it down. Turn it on. And off we go. So this really won't take me a lot of time, will it? But let's at least try and keep it relatively neat. I didn't want to run, as I have done in the past, running the windrower on the front of this and running the mower at the same time. That would have been way too big for this little field. Hence why I shall run it like this, reverse drive mower, and we'll run the windrower with the Ford when we're done here, and then bale. So we'll get this done, and I'll pick you all back up very shortly when it's done. Well, that was lucrative. Honest. That's what we got out of the field, plus a bit that's left in the baler. So just over 13,000 litres of hay. 2 bales, or two and a half, just over. So, yeah, but obviously the ground hadn't been properly treated. There was no lime or any fertiliser or anything. I can't imagine. It was just, I suppose, base game grass, can you call it that? So I suppose after a coat of lime and some fertiliser and a good drilling and a ploughing and proper field work, we might increase that by a little bit, but I suppose the way I see that, that's what we've got out of that is 4 troughs worth of sheep food for now, which is better than nothing, I know, and I know we've just thrown 20 odd grand into buying that field, but as I say, with a bit of field prep, getting it done properly, we might increase that a little bit, but that will be responsible for now for the sheep food. So what's next? So I think I'm going to fast forward time now into January, because that is the optimum time for selling the milk. At the minute we've got just over 3,600 litres, so a fast forward time into next month, or go to sleep as it were, we might have a little bit more milk there, so I'm going to do that now, and I'll see you next month, I suppose. Right, hello again. Here we are, January, and it's been snowing. Check this out. Wow. Right, so we need to sell the milk. We now have, if I just jump into the animal menu, we have 4,309 litres of milk, and the place to sell that is the garden centre, 694.89, is that right? Yeah, 694.89. That is the top price we're going to get at the minute from the garden centre, and the top price there says 691.64. We're getting a little bit more than that. So I'm going to jump into the Massey, I think. Where's the tanker? There it is. We're going to jump into the Massey. There we go. We'll grab the tanker. I think there's a little bit of water left in this, so I'm going to take what there is to the sheep pen. Sheep pasture, sorry. Pen. There we go. Right, what have we got in here? Oh, very little. And if I just have a quick look at the sheep, they'll take something, so waste not, want not, and all that. Oh, and I need to do something with those 2 bales, don't I? Get them unloaded. So, let's drop that, open the gate. Right. There we go. Ooh, almost. Right, well, I'm going to be left with no choice with that. I am just going to have to see this trailer so I can pick up the milk. So I'll see you around there in a second. Right, here we are. Let's get that cap open there. Should be about here. There we go. Oh, that didn't take long, did it? 57%. Let's just check that we've emptied the whole thing. Cows, 0 litres. Right, so we've got everything that the cows have produced. So let's drive around these cows. A strange pattern to the ground, isn't it? The way the snow's lay, it's like a big diamond in the middle of the field. Oh well. Right. Anyway, let's go and make a couple of pounds. We shall send this on its way to the garden centre by a good old auto drive. I don't think I've been to the garden centre yet since I popped it into the auto drive network. Right, so there we are. Now where will it be? Sell points, garden centre. Off you go. Goodness me, 11 minutes. Right, okay. I shall see you in 11 minutes. Right, here we are, the garden centre. I have been here before. We did one of the stylage bale contracts. We had to sell at the garden bale sell point. So anyway, right, let's bring up the hood. We're not going to make a huge amount of money, but let's see, shall we? It certainly empties slower than it fills up. $3,295 plus 114, so 3,400 quid. That'll do. That will do. Better than a kick in the teeth, I guess. Right, so £13,435. That's not so bad. Right, so let's send this on the long and arduous journey back to home farm. And I shall pick you all up in a wee while when we're back there. Right, there we go. Massey's back after its long journey in the snow. So, while I was travelling back a little way with the Massey on its way back here, I actually picked up another 3 collectibles as I was just hovering in the sky, looking around. As you see there, £16,434. There are quite a few of those collectibles nestled around in the village down there, so I know I showed you purely by accident where one of them was last time in one of the episodes, but yeah, I won't reveal where they all are, but needless to say, if any of you are looking for them, there's quite a few in the village, in the gardens and stuff around the back of houses. Even in the snow, it was buried, but I still managed to spot it. Must have had Hawkeye mode engaged. Right, so yeah, I think I'm going to call it here for this episode, everybody. I think we've had a reasonable bit of work today. We've sold our milk, as you just seen, made a few £1,000s from that. We've earned a couple of £1,000 from a couple of contracts. The sheep and the cows are well fed. They've still got a load of food in, both of them. We've got, I suppose technically you could say I spent £22,000 on 2 bales of hay, technically, from the cost of that field, but as I'm hoping, with a bit of field prep, a bit of lime and nitrogen and a good drilling and a good ploughing, etc., we should be able to increase that yield a little bit. So yeah, but all in all, I'm quite glad that I created this winter episode, as it were. I think come the next episode, I think I am going to fast forward time to March, because I think that's when a little bit more is going to be happening, a little bit more variation in the map at least. If we go to here, yeah, in March we should hopefully have potentially some drilling contracts for wheat, barley, canola, oat, etc. The weather will be a bit clearer. Yeah, we'll have a bit more to do. That's the idea anyway. Best laid plans and all that. So, as always, thank you everyone for watching the video. I really appreciate your time spent watching it. I really hope you've enjoyed it, found it fun, interesting. And if you can, hit the like button, leave me a comment if you've got any suggestions, any ideas. And if you're new to the channel, if you like my content, you like the way I do things, hit the subscribe button. So, thanks again everyone, and I'll see you in the next episode.